Bonjour les amis, bienvenidos una vez más a nuestro canal de YouTube. Hoy tenemos el inmenso placer de recibir a una persona que nos es muy querida en la tienda, que llevamos muchos años trabajando con él y que tenemos la grandísima suerte de contar con todas sus fragancias, que bueno, ya iremos descubriendo un poquito sobre ellas, pero que son maravillosas y que seguro que os van a encantar. Tenemos el placer de encontrar a James Heeley de Heeley Parfums. Hi James,
Hi.
Welcome to the Secrets du Marais. We love to have you here. So thank you for being here with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, it's always a pleasure to have you here because, you know, for us, your brand is very special. We work with you from several years now and we still love your fragrances. So this is very grateful thing for us. When you started the brand, of course, this time was in the heart of the concept of your brand, in the heart of philosophy. But could you be maybe more clear or more talk about this more in detail about the concept of what are you looking for when you create your brand?
Yeah, well, actually, I didn't create my brand.
Okay, just like
So
this.
there are certain brands that are, as you know, we all know, there are brands that are created today, and they're very much disciplined with a business plan, finance.
No, this was not your
You've
case.
got a nose or creative guy, and then you've got finance guys, and
Yeah.
it's like, and they have maybe a plan to sell out, and they've got
Yeah.
funding. And I never did that. I created my brand.
Just like the
created my
dark one
brand.
has started to paint
It was an extension of my
your personality,
my
maybe.
small creative world and my personality and my interests, and I had
I
that.
don't think it's still like this. I mean, when we smell your fragrances, I have the impression to see you through the fragrances, no? To see your personality, that you're calm, that at the same time you're a dreamer, no? You are a cool person, at least for me, maybe. I don't know.
Thank you.
No, but we have this impression when we know you and we meet you for the first time and even times after. We have always this impression that you're a cool guy that has a lot of dreams in your world, no, but more realistic, because we live in this world and we have to be realistic. And of course, we are in an industry, we have to do some business as well. But you don't impose some trends, or you don't impose, you don't follow this kind of oud, and everybody is doing oud,
No.
or iris, and everybody's doing iris. Of course, you have a nude, you have an iris, you have a lemon, you have a rose, or whatever. But I mean, even you use raw materials like this, we can see always your personality through the fragrances.
Yeah, but
I have some impression.
It's very encouraging to hear you say that.
It has not changed with
No, it
the
hasn't.
years. I mean,
It hasn't. Well, I actually started with doing one fragrance. I thought I set about it was my challenge, and to do it, I found a very small oil house in the south of France, which is a family-run business, and it's there where they with like 3 noses, they had a small team, and they were working a lot. They did a lot of soap, a lot of shower gel, a lot of generic kind of scents. And I arrived, and I really had a project which was to create a scent based on mint. Now, everybody I spoke to said, they can't possibly, mint. You don't really use mint as a
main raw material.
It's just.
It's a crazy thing that you want to do,
But
you did it.
Yeah, but it was very much just a part of
Your world.
my world, experimenting, what have you, and I thought it was a fascinating thing to learn about.
And then it was Menthe Fresh.
So it was Menthe Fresh, yeah. Which the form has changed over the years. I do actually go back and slightly change formulas or try and make them better, try and improve them. And mint is a very, very typically English ingredient. We use it. We have after 8 mints. We have mint with lamb, as you know, but not mint jelly, but the proper mint.
But you just mint it everywhere, yes.
It's just chopped mint with a little sugar and wine vinegar, and that is so good on lamb. Whatever anybody says, I don't know. But it's and also mint. I think in England, as a child, we used to have grown in the garden, and it was something that just was very, to me, natural. Something I don't know, I just loved it. And I actually got the idea for making a mint scent when I was walking in Corsica. And in Corsica, you get wild mint that grows through the grass. And I just walking, I smelled this incredible scent.
Memories.
Yeah, and I said, this is just the most beautiful scent.
You don't create for others, you create for yourself finally. And coincidence, we like that as well.
Yeah, but the thing is, mint is really difficult to do, to make it elegant. So I know it's a cliche, but that's the way it is. I always try to make my scent elegant and also different. So the idea is not to follow what everybody else is doing or a trend. And if there is a crossroads, someone says, "Oh, you've just done something which is exactly like,"
they are not bling bling.
At the time I did Hippie Rose, I'd been working on it for like 3 years. I thought I'd bring it out. I wasn't going to bring it out. In the meantime, there was a Portrait of a Lady by Frederick Marx. Somebody said to me on
it's like
you've done just
copied.
This is absolutely. This is
just
coincidences happen. Yeah. So it's just I've always done my own thing. I don't really look around and see what's being done, and I just say I had this fixation with mint. I just wanted to do a mint scent, and I wanted to make it elegant, wearable, and it has a twist. So it's and I don't do it on purpose. It's just the way I am.
Yes,
I want things to be different.
What happens just naturally.
I don't really like things when they're too loud and too brash or too like here I am, look at me kind of thing.
It's a British guy that became French, so it's not
kind of. So you're right. It's a kind of style. It's just a way of looking at things. It's about attitude, how you behave, and just what you like.
Talking about
So
about raw materials coming from the mint, for instance, could we say that there is a raw material that could be the DNA of your brand, something that you like to use all the time, or maybe not present in all the fragrances, of course, but maybe very.
Well, I certainly have. It's very, very difficult because you need so many different ingredients in perfume. I would think one of the particular ingredients I use is actually mint. Now, mint I put in a lot of.
In a lot of them.
In a lot of these perfumes. So we have, for example, L'Amandière, which is a floral, very spring-like, multifiori. If you imagine flowers out in blossom, everything out in flower at the same time, from linden blossom to hyacinths, bluebells, jasmine, lavender. You wouldn't think. I mean, the idea is it's almost like a dream. You're talking about dream. I think perfume is very much about dreaming. It's very much about closing your eyes and just letting go. Or I've always been a dreamer, daydreamer, if you like. So one of the things my mother was like, James, stop dreaming, or wake up, sort of thing. So I and at the same time,
don't.
No, but it's true.
Don't stop.
And it's very. But at the same time, you switch off and sometimes be realistic, because you have to get things done, you have to get things made, you have responsibilities, you've got production, and
you have to do a business finally.
You have to go. So perfume again is this amazing balance between dreaming and being a realist and being practical.
Is there some kind of mint in the last launch, that Cologne Officinale?
No, there's a note of basilic. Yeah. So you have this
kind of French, fresh.
It's very fresh, but it has this very oriental.
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing it today. So it's actually based on lavender.
It's
which is why it's called Cologne Officinale, because you have
very aromatic as well.
Lavandula officinale, which is the botanical name for lavender, and it's actually not a cologne at all. It's much stronger than a cologne, but it has this lavender base to it, with aromatics typical of southern Mediterranean, south of France. So rosemary, thyme, and you have a sage note, which is almost dirty, which gives you that it's kind of sensuality. Now, sort of dirty notes are important in perfume, whether it be oud or pastoral.
Dirty, I mean, for me, it's not dirty.
It's not dirty, but there's a very slight smell of what you'd say in French, négligé. Which is very clean. It's like there's also a savon de Marseille, and underneath you have an amber, an amber gris type note, which is very, very oriental, and it's actually based on Olivier Amsalam, who has a fashion store in Marseille. He's a fashion photographer, and he asked years ago me to make a perfume for his store.
So for jogging, no? That's it.
Yeah, for jogging in Marseille. So this actually ended up being the perfume of Marseille, if you like, with Marseille. And there's a special edition coming out, jogging, which is only sold in jogging in Marseille, which is the same scent, but
with a different name and a different level just for the story. Are you thinking about the future now, or what a new launch?
I'm always thinking about the future, but it's become, lead times have become so long for production since dreaded COVID. I'd like it to go much quicker, but we just have difficulty at the moment keeping up with production and demand. As the brand becomes more known outside Europe, demand increases, and we have to keep up, and we have to keep up the quality.
So just keep it on the news in the future.
Yes, but I've always done, for example, I did. I used to do a collection of perfume candles years ago, as well, because we now have a store in Paris. I wanted to branch out in a way.
Your store in Paris is the best, beautiful place in Paris, en Palais Royal. Si tenéis la ocasión de ir a París, por favor, no faltéis vuestra cita en la tienda de James Heeley en Palais Royal, porque de verdad que merece la pena, solo por el marco maravilloso en el que se encuentra. Sorry, I needed to say this because for me it's a magical place.
Yes, it is.
Just talking about your fragrance, since we can divide them maybe in fresh and some oriental, some flower, and maybe some woody, no? We could say that we can classify like this. But for me, if I have to recommend only two, it's a very difficult choice. Which ones? Well, of course, mint fresh. I think it's for you very special, no?
But I probably wouldn't choose it. If I was choosing it as a brand owner, if you like, I would probably choose Selma as well, because I think it really does encapsulate what
for me,
I'm about.
For me, it's like a bridge between England and France.
That's interesting.
The taste of the ocean, of the sea, between France and England. In the north, for instance, I'm from San Sebastian in the north of Spain, and it's the same scent that you can find in these beaches in the north of France and in the south of England. So this kind of salty and scent of the sea with booty inside. For me, well, it reminds me as well my childhood in San Sebastian, all the summers that I spent there. So I think it could be the bridge now for your brand between England and France.
Yeah, well, I never thought of it like that, but for me it was really, the idea for Salman really was very, very simple. As we were talking about, when I was younger, I was very much interested in scent and also photography, I suppose. Images were always still in my mind. And I always remember that advertising for scent was you'd often have the sea in those images, So you have, Jude Law coming out of the sea, dripping in salt water, and then you have white horses running on the beach.
The freedom that represents the sea.
Freedom and the power of the sea, the silence of the sea.
To feel yourself when you wear a fragrance.
So you see these images and think, wow, that's amazing, And then you think, and I'd smell the scent, and I go, I don't get it. Where's the sea? I don't smell the sea. I was so disappointed. And I think once I'd done Montfresh, Cardinal, when I smelled incense, which was actually in a church in l'Église Saint-Louis, in the middle of Paris, Saint-Louis-en-Île. And it was a Sunday morning. I was just walking in that area. It's a beautiful part of Paris. And there was a congregation of monks wearing white linen habits. And the sun was coming in through the windows and smoke was rising up. This is just the most beautiful image and one of the most beautiful feelings, and the scent and everything. And I thought this is just, it was one of those things that stayed in my mind, and I knew I had to try and make a scent of that.
That's right. So, it's spiritual, but not in a darkest way. It's not in a very open-minded and fresh and
I've never set out to make bestsellers or make X amount of money. I just start with an idea. I try and make it work, and if I really struggle to try and make it elegant, wearable, interesting, balanced, and that's the work. That's the continual work of a perfume is to
be balanced.
Is to balance actually, and I know it's a cliche, but make things elegant and wearable.
When things are well done, they are well done. That's all. So, bueno chicos, espero que os haya gustado la entrevista que le hemos hecho a James Heeley. Para nosotros ha sido un placer. Thank you for being here with us.
It's a pleasure.
It's always very, very nice from you to share all your secrets and your fragrances. Y bueno, si tenéis cualquier duda, ya sabéis que podéis preguntarnos a través de nuestros canales habituales, ya sea las redes sociales, por email o por teléfono. Si queréis probar las fragancias, por supuesto, no dudéis en venirlas a conocer a nuestra tienda o bien pedirlas online. Y esperamos que os haya gustado y a bientôt.